Hey y'all, it's me, it's your girl, the real deal, Anita Skills Reaction. Excuse me. Let me try this again. Okay, let me try it again. Good morning. I got to do it again. Hold on, y'all. Start again. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever it is in your country. This is your girl, the real deal, Anita Skills Reaction. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to all my people from other countries. Shout out to my people from over here and my great subscribers. What's up? The real deal, you know, y'all can say game if you want to say, you know. Good morning, Francicia. And I would like to give a shout out to all my workers. I still got some of my workers working. You know, I feel so good that I didn't have to get up and go to work, y'all. I'm taking the advantage of my weekends for now on. If I want to stay up all around the clock on Friday, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Shout out to let me put the Pisces. You know, Pisces, we don't care what nobody say. We don't care how much fun they try to make out of. We still gonna be Pisces. Happy birthday, Pisces. What's up? Yeah. And keep in mind when I speak over him, the real deal speak, I am speaking to my viewers, okay? I'm not, you know, I speak to my viewers out there. Viewers, I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all leaving comments in the chat for me. See, we don't do it. Everybody don't know what y'all do behind the scenes. See, they think everything goes on right here. But we do it behind the scenes, don't we, y'all? Yeah. Yeah, I want to thank my important people who watches my channel. I also want to thank YouTube for giving me a platform to speak to my friends out there, okay? Yes. Okay, let's get into this morning. So how y'all doing out there in the real deal land? Yeah, y'all, I got a track me to go to today. I'm gonna go check my boys team out. Not my boy. I don't have no team. No. I'm done with that. Done with coaching. But I am going to a meet round about 2 to check them out and see what they need to do so I can help that team. You know, make some decisions. You know, what it's up to them. But let me get into my business. I didn't wake up for this. Yeah, y'all. I am going to visit the Murdaugh case. If you have not been following the Murdaugh case, please pay attention to the video. Alice Murdaugh is a dude that got his family into some mess. Yes, so if he got his family into some mess, yes. And if he know who killed, if he know who murdered his family, then he's involved. Because he kept his mouth shut. He took his wife through it. We don't know what happened out there. Now, but I want to take it to the caretaker. I'm doing good, Francine. How's everybody else doing? Francine, you welcome everybody to the chat for me, okay? And tell them to smash the like button. Okay? Appreciate it. All right, let me go on with my business. The first video I want to revisit is very important to me. It's the caretaker. And the reason why I want to visit back to the caretaker, and then I want to, in the last video, I want to revisit is Murdaugh telling Pisces, any Pisces out there have a birthday today? Happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday, sweetie pie. Happy birthday. Y'all know I got to tell y'all happy birthday. Yeah. Last but not least, I want y'all to know that Miss Alberta allegedly passed her test. She passed her lie detector test, whatever y'all, polygraph test. Yes, Miss Alberta passed her polygraph test. Just in case y'all want to know, It's Alexis' Ware mother. She passed her test as well, which we knew she was going to pass her test. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me get my coffee in my other hand. Hold up. Okay. First video we're going to check out, I want to go back to the caretaker. The caretaker mentioned something that he always gone in the middle of the night. You know, he was doing some stuff. Y'all already know what he was doing now. But he knew what he was doing. He don't drove from his wife crazy. That's for number one. But let's revisit it. Let me get my phone ready, y'all. Let me fix my phone. I want to revisit this. This is Miss Murdaugh. Wait a minute, y'all. Why am my phone? Hold on for a minute. Oh, I didn't know he called me. Oh. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I got a phone call that night from this particular person in one of the cases. So let me see. Okay, here we go. Can y'all smash the like button? Let me see how many people don't say. Even if you hear, smash the like button. Everybody smash the like button for me. I don't care if it's 1, 2. I appreciate you. Okay. All right. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Oops. Hold on. I'm sorry, my fault. I got to put it on this part right here. Okay. Hold on.
With either Mr. Griffin or Mr. Harpoon, one of their investigators.
Yes.
Remember, I'm not looking for a date and time, but you know how long we got?
It was last year.
Would you a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
Just a little while ago this morning.
Yes.
I have to ask you for the record, this Alex Murdaugh who came and saw you the night of the murders with the shorts, shirt and the stereotype leopards on, is that him?
Yes.
And is he also the person you said told you he'd been there 30 or 40 minutes?
Yes.
And is he also the person you saw in the house that night with some kind of very final that you stay consistent with this picture we put in? Is that you?
Yes.
Like this.
Good afternoon, Ms. Smith.
Good afternoon.
We have met once or twice. Someone ever show you a blue rain jacket?
I know that. Yes, I think so. Yes.
Some of our investigators show you a picture of a blue rain jacket.
Yeah, picture of blue, yes.
But has anyone that's has ever shown you a blue rain jacket?
No.
Now, you saw Mr. Ellen Murdaugh bring a tarp in, you said, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to show you a tarp. which we marked for identification purposes, Your Honor, Exhibit 86. Is this the type of tarp that Mr. Murdaugh came in to the Alameda house on the day that you were talking about?
Yes.
Tarp like this that would maybe cover up a car. Is that right? Any way to confuse this with a rain jacket?
No.
He was not carrying a rain jacket. It wasn't.
No, it was balled up. I don't know.
And you said it was balled up, and it was balled up in such a manner that it did not look like there was a shovel handle, a gun, or anything. It was balled up. Is that right?
Correct.
Have I balled it up sort of correctly?
Yes.
All right. Got to move. Exhibit 86, I think. And that was. Now, what Alec left that day, this was laid out on Ms. Libby's retirement rocking chair, wasn't it?
Yes.
And you had, and when you left for end of your shift that day, that's where it was, right?
Mhm. Yes.
And you've never seen it since, correct?
Correct.
Now they showed you a picture, which is in evidence. Do you even know where that picture was taken in the house?
No. In the car.
Do we have that picture?
Come on, lady. Don't be getting scared. How we-
Can you see that, Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Do you know where that is, and or even if it is in Ms. Libby's house?
I couldn't say because I don't go in. I don't be in the closets.
Hold on, y'all. Look, why when folks get on this stand, they act so scary? Listen to what she said. She know how the house look and stuff. It look like she start stumbling on her words. Just tell the truth. Look.
Which is in evidence. Do you even know where that picture was taken in the house?
No.
Do we have that picture?
Yeah. He said he done got himself in something.
Can you see that, Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Do you know where that is, and or even if it is in Ms. Libby's house?
I couldn't say because I don't go in. I don't be in the closets.
So you don't even recognize the closet, is that right?
Correct.
And have you ever even been upstairs in Ms. Libby's house?
Twice.
2 times over how many years?
3 years.
2 times in 3 years.
Yeah, 2 times in 3 years. Jesus. Well, that's good. That means that she don't snoop.
And do you know where Alec Murdaugh went when he went upstairs on the day that he brought a blue tarp in the house?
No.
She not nosy. That's how it is.
Now you mentioned that this day that he came over was about 3 days after Mr. Randolph Murdaugh's funeral. Is that right?
Yes.
And it was early in the morning.
Yes.
So, and do you remember that Mr. Randolph's funeral being on a Sunday?
Yes.
So then it would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that week. Is that right?
Lady, you don't come out now. Don't go in here acting crazy. You don't remember what day this funeral's on? I know if I went to a funeral on a Wednesday or Sunday, because it was something I did on that day. Jesus, y'all, all of y'all get on the stand acting like all of y'all were doing some nothing.
Yes. Correct.
And is that the morning that you said that you thought you saw a bruise on his forehead?
Yes.
So it was Wednesday after Mr. Randolph's funeral.
I'm thinking I can't remember so long. I can't remember.
Just say that. There you go.
And the and you mentioned that that he came in a truck. I think you said he drove up in a white truck.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And he does have a white truck, as
Yes.
far as you know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you said he left in a white truck. And are you sure that it was Mr. Randolph's truck or Mr. Alex's truck that he left in?
Because it was moving. Mr. Randolph had always keep his truck in a certain position, certain part.
So you think he left in Mr. Randolph's truck and moved?
Yes.
And when you came back, when you left that morning, I guess
She telling the truth, cause Alex, you'll know if she lying. You'll know she telling the truth, cause you can see how Alex look like he waiting on what's the next question, cause she telling you the truth.
Wednesday we're talking about was Mr. Randolph's truck back in the driveway,
Yes.
parked in its normal place?
Yes.
Anything out of sort?
No.
Was it all covered up with mud, like someone's been mudding in it?
No.
Anything unusual about the truck?
No.
Now you mentioned there was a four-wheeler that had been moved at some point in time. That four-wheeler had a flat tire, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
And was it a front tire, back tire?
I think it was a back tire.
And it was moved up close to the house,
Yes.
as far as you know, so the tire could be repaired.
Yes, it was moved from the small house to the red house. Yes.
With a flat tire.
Yes, with a black tire.
I wonder who drove that four-wheeler, y'all. Maybe do Murdaugh's drive a four-wheeler? Or was his son on the four-wheeler?
Now you asked questions about the day of the Randolph's funeral, and you had a conversation with Alec, and he was talking to you about how long he was over at the house on the night of June the 7th, right?
Yes.
And he said he was there 30 to 40 minutes.
Yes.
And you said, no, I don't think it was that long.
Yes.
And then the next day, I think you said, or the day after, or the following day, or I guess that was on Monday, you had another conversation with him where you just brought up like you were going to get married. Like you said, that was a different day, right?
Yes.
And he was just being nice, wasn't he?
Yes.
I think you used the word good person.
A good person. Yes.
Who are you referring to when you testified in response to the question by Mr. Meadows that someone's a good person?
Mr. Alex Murdaugh.
He's a nice person. You know, he can be a good person. He can be a good person to people and still have issues. You know what I mean? He can be a very good person and respect this woman right here. And not respect his decisions that he made. He's a nice man. You can tell that. Just made poor decisions. Well, nice man. He just messed up.
Now, he came over on the night of June the 7th, and you said it was somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30 in the evening,
Yes.
and that's just your best estimate of when he got there. Is that
Yes.
right? And I think you testified that he was there, in your estimation, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yes.
And when we said 15 to 20 minutes, are you talking about 15 minutes in the room with Ms. Libby, or on the property the whole time?
Probably the whole time.
Well, now you said it took you about 5 minutes to let him in. Is that right?
Yes.
So, are you including the 5 minutes it took you to let him in your 15 to 20, or could it have been on the property 25 minutes?
20 minutes, all that is. All times.
And you would agree that Alec Murdaugh would visit his parents frequently, right?
Yes.
And he would always come over more so than any other sibling. Is that right?
Yes.
And you would agree that it was not out of the ordinary for Alec to come at night, correct?
Yes.
You agree with that, right?
No.
So you don't agree that it's, so is it, was it out of the ordinary for him to come at night?
Yes, on my shift. Yes.
But do you recall being interviewed?
They see that's the lady, that's the caretaker took care of his mother and father, I think, well, one of the two. That's the caretaker, not for his wife, y'all, but for his mother. You know, he visited his mother, so that's her caretaker. So that's how she know a lot.
A telephone interview on June 17th, 21, with Agent Joe Albiado. You remember that?
Yes.
And you remember telling him that it was not out of the ordinary for Alec to come at night?
It's been a long time. I can't remember. So it's been a year now, so I can't really remember.
I mean, is it possible that you told him that?
Yes.
And here today, you said, as I have in my notes, that when he came over, that he was acting kind of fidgety, yet normal. I believe that's what you said. Is his normal behavior kind of fidgety?
Yes.
He's just kind of a fidgety person, right?
Yes.
So it wasn't the first time you'd seen him being kind of fidgety, right?
We always come different times, so I can't,
But your demeanor was normal for Alec the night that he came over.
Just tell them, lady. Just tell them. Y'all just, these some weird folk, man.
He was the 7th, wasn't it?
I said yes.
Okay. Now,
Tell the
you
truth.
mentioned the clothes that he was wearing. And he came in and he sat on his mom's bed,
Yes.
lay down
Wait,
next to her,
wait, wait.
and held her hand.
He walked in and hold her hand and spoke to her and went on the bed and lay down.
And lay down.
Mm-hmm. Not lay down, but sit up.
And when he got up off the bed, was the bed soiled in any way? Was it wet?
I can't recall, but I didn't touch it.
What did Alec Murdaugh have blood on his clothes?
No.
He had blood on his shoes.
No.
He had blood on his hair.
No.
Don't
He had
fret up.
blood in his mom's bedroom.
No.
Recordings.
Ask the lady some more questions, cause y'all, he know he don't. He to me it seemed like her hold up before I play this. It seemed like he, to me, allegedly, that he wanted to make sure whatever was going on, that didn't nobody hurt his mother and father. Well, his mother, I think his father was gone. I'm not sure.
Now, to the records that we've been providing in this case, you were interviewed by SLED on June 16th. Remember that
Yes.
interview?
Yes.
And I think in that interview, you told SLED that he had been there 30, 35 minutes. Do you remember telling him that?
I think it's, yeah.
And then you were interviewed again by telephone on June 17th. Remember that follow-up call? Remember having a short phone call on the 17th? Well, whether it's one interview or two interviews, you never told anybody that in June, in these interviews, one or two, anything about Alec coming in with a blue tar. Is that right? You didn't say anything about a blue tarp until sometime in September. Is that right?
Yes.
And you initially mentioned something about coming over with a tar. The first time you mentioned it was to Officer Joseph Dingle of the Allendale Police Department, and he was working a wreck. Remember that?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
And you've been in the automobile accident, and Officer Dingle was working the wreck and I guess filling out his report, and you were having a conversation.
Yes.
And in that conversation with Officer Dingle, didn't you tell Officer Dingle that on the night of the murder, that Alec came over with a blue tar that looked like it had a gun in it?
Oh, I said that he was holding something.
So you didn't say,
I didn't say it was a gun. I said he was holding something.
Oh, so when on the night of the murder, he don't be make over his parents' house then, and he was holding it. That's why I wanted to revisit this part, because she's the caretaker to his mother. So she said that he had something in his hand. Wow.
so you didn't tell Officer Dingle that he came over, and you couldn't tell, but stated it looked like a rifle.
No, I said it was like he was holding something. I did not say it was a rifle.
It's like he was holding something.
And if Officer Dingle wrote a report up saying that, he was just incorrect.
Yes.
And then after you had this conversation with Officer Dingle, then you were contacted by SLED agents, right?
Mhm.
And they asked you to go down to their offices, and that's where you were interviewed in September. Right?
Yes.
And in that interview, you told them about a blue tar that you put on your car, just like this, right?
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you didn't tell them because it's not true that there was anything wrapped up in here that looked like a rifle.
Right.
What he had in it though?
And since that day of the interview at the Low Country SLED office, have you had any additional interviews with SLED agents other than getting ready for trial this week, last week?
Yes.
How many additional interviews?
2. 2 or 3.
And
2
in
interviews.
each of those interviews, did you reiterate to SLED that it was a blue tarp and not a rain jacket that you saw Alec Murdaugh walking into the house with?
Yes.
Is there any doubt in your mind It was a blue tarp this and not orange.
It's ball top with a blue top.
So you saw it laying on Miss Libby's retirement rocking chair.
Yes, yes.
Stick to your word, baby. Okay, could.
Second, Your Honor.
So y'all, look. I'm just gonna pause it there for a second because it's a reaction channel. When Alex does things, he be tripping, so he'll go from his house to his parents' house. Do y'all see? When you backtrack and look at it, do it seem like that's what he doing? He'll go from his house to his parents' house. He bringing trouble from his house to his parents' house and hiding stuff. They ain't got time to find out what he doing, but the caretaker can. That's what it seemed like. He uses his mom's house, his parents' house, for a lot of secret stuff that he does. Cause they don't move around that much.
One more point. When Alec Murdaugh came over on that early morning, I guess it was Wednesday, you testified. Were you at Miss Libby's room?
Yes.
You can't see the comings and goings out of the driveway from Miss Libby's bedroom, can you? You can't?
No.
See, that what I was wondering. I said I didn't want to mention it. I was like, so how she see Ellie's truck and the position of his truck from the wife, his mother's room? How is she sense it? People need to just tell the truth. Cause they were being nosy. She was being nosy. She heard the truck.
Thank you. That's all for us, right?
Redirect. Testified in front of the grand jury on January 20th of 2022. On page 25, line 17, when you were asked about how long do you think he stayed in total, do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember your answer being 20, 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin asked you about the 30 to 40 minutes. Why'd you call your brother after that?
I can't wait to hear it because he said something about her brother. It's so much. You know what? When you owe money, it's so much. It's. Whew, honey, hold up.
Call.
That statement by Alex Murdaugh affected you.
Yes.
How?
I was nervous.
What?
Mr. Griffin asked you about the evenings visits and the morning visits. Had he ever been there at 6:30 in the morning like he was that morning? Ever?
No.
And his 9:30 visit night of the murders, that was very unusual for him to be at night.
Yes.
Is that unusual?
Yes.
He need to get on the mic because I need to hear him. I can't hear what he asking her. So listen, y'all.
So you told an officer, did you tell an officer about this? You saw something that he thought he was carrying
Yes.
before you told him?
Yes. I had to get my car. He was on duty.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me back this up. Somebody in her car. They need to speak up.
He doubt in mind, it was a blue tarp like this and not a rain jacket.
He was all
Not that. I went back too far.
I said, yes, I've been this. I work with the Murdaughs. You know, they
Hold up, y'all. I went too far.
10, 15.
Let me.
Make a light. And since that day of the interview at the Low Country Sled Office, have you had any additional interviews with sled agents other than getting ready for trial this week, last week?
Yes.
How many interviews?
2 or 3.
And in each of those interviews, did you reiterate the sled that it was a blue tarp and not a rain jacket that you saw Alex Murdaugh walking into the house with?
Yes.
Is there any doubt in your mind it was a blue tarp like this and not a rain jacket?
It was all about Mr. Bouchard.
Well, you saw it laying on Ms. Libby's retirement rocking chair, right?
Yes. Yes.
But hold up. If it was wet like a raincoat, he wouldn't have set it on his mother's rocking chair because it was wet. So it couldn't be a wet raincoat, right, y'all? Because if it's a wet raincoat, why would he set a wet raincoat on his mama rocking chair? They need to think about that. He didn't set a wet raincoat on his mama rocking chair. It could have just been, I don't know what he set on his mama rocking chair, but it wouldn't have been wet because she got to sit on it.
Second, Your Honor.
But Alice, why you doing her caretaker like that? Ugh. What is this, man?
Just one more point. When Alex Murdaugh came over on that early morning, I guess it was Wednesday, you testified. Were you in Ms. Libby's room?
Yes.
You can't see the comings and goings out of the driveway from Ms. Libby's bedroom, can you?
Mm-hmm.
You can?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry for pushing that.
She could have got up and looked out the window when she heard the truck. That didn't prove nothing.
Testifying in front of the grand jury on January 20th of 2022, on page 25, line 17, when you were asked about how long do you think he stayed in total. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember your answer being 20, 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Yes.
Good to ask you about the 30 to 40 minutes. Why'd you call your brother after that?
Because he's a chief, assistant chief police at Warrenville. So I called him.
That statement by Alex Murdaugh affected you.
Yes.
How?
I was nervous.
Oh, hold up. She's smart. Her brother's a chief. She was nervous about what Alex was doing over there. She's smart. Okay? She called her brother.
And Mr. Griffin asked you about the evenings visits and the morning visits. Had he ever been there at 6:30 in the morning like you was that night? Ever?
No.
And his 9:30 visit the night of the murders, that was very unusual for him to be at night, wasn't it?
Objection, Libby.
Don't leave it.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Was that unusual?
Yes.
See, Alice was doing some unusual things, y'all. On the night that he allegedly murdered his family, but they saying that he murdered the family, but he was doing weird things. He went over to, this is the mother caretaker right here. His mother. She's like a sweet lady.
You told an officer, did you tell an officer about this? You saw something that he thought he was carrying
Yes.
before you told anybody else?
Yes.
And what was that about, a traffic accident?
I had someone hit my car. He was on duty.
When was that?
September 11th.
It's my birthday. You had an accident, and you told the officer that you had seen him, Alex Murdaugh, come and hold something?
He was talking, he was having a conversation, and that came up.
Mm.
Just told him.
He was talking.
Anybody asked you that before?
Yes.
Anybody
No,
asked
no,
you that before?
no.
Okay. So why did you tell the officer that on September 11th?
We were having a conversation, just talking, and he asked me a question. I said, yes, I've been there. I said, what with the Murdaughs?
In response to him, you told him you saw Alex Murdaugh what?
A line, a blue car.
You said park a car.
Car. A couple cars in the car.
And you saw him with that, and he was carrying something?
Like he was holding something. It was one of those. I
She said that. She said what she said. It looked like he was carrying something. He was. He was carrying a blue tarp.
Bundled up?
Yes,
Like this?
yes.
You never saw this unfolding?
No, I never told him.
Never.
So the next morning, that was on the chair, and he said, it's wrong.
You don't know where this tarp came from, do you?
No, I don't know what's coming.
It didn't have silver on one side, did it?
No,
It's all blue.
all blue.
And you said that the defense took a statement from you? Did they record it?
Yes.
On under Rule 613, I'd like a copy of that statement or the recording at this time. If they have it, she's now taking the stand.
Your Honor, under Rule 5, it is not subject to being produced.
What happened? What? Everybody looking crazy. What happened? What happened? These folks are missing. Okay.
You question her about the statement.
Rule 5 is pre-trial.
Under 613, once the witnesses taking stand, and she said that they took a statement from her, either recorded or written. We don't have it, hadn't been provided. He asked her about that specifically, dealing with the blue tarp, and what they discussed.
Sure did. You did.
I actually don't mind him having it. Your Honor. We don't have a copy of it.
Why?
On request shall be shown or disclosed to opposing counsel pursuant to Rule 611A. Defendant must
Right.
provide it.
Look. They don't messed
I have
up.
a copy here. I don't know if you downloaded it together.
I mean, I can't look at the flash drive, but I guess.
You ask him.
You can listen to that without the presence. I don't want to mess the court's schedule up either.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have you go to the jury room. Please not discuss the case. All right, thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Meadows.
You ask him.
Smith, you remember being interviewed by
They messed up on that one.
Patrick McDavid and Robert Purcell, who worked with Mr. Hartman and Mr. Griffin in October, on October 20th of 2022.
Yes.
And I believe Mr. Griffin had asked you about some shoes in response to our questions. You remember telling them that he had, these investigators, he had on some cloth-like shoes?
Yes.
Mm.
And I believe Mr. Griffin asked you about the length of time you were there.
Yeah, he did ask her
You
that.
remember these investigators asking you about the length of time that Mr. Murdaugh was at Almeda the night of June 7th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Your Honor, it's offering a prior consistent statement and one's I don't know why. It's not impeaching her with it. You can't bolster her prior consistent statement.
Mr. Metters.
I believe he had questioned the 30 or 40 minutes and was questioning whether or not Alex asked her to say that. The investigators just clarified for me their conversations directly contradict what she said earlier on the record.
That's right.
And I have through their questioning and interviews, which I just got a little while ago.
That's what he did. He's telling the truth.
Again, he's offering a prior consistent statement, and it's not admissible unless it's being offered to rebut a claim of recent fabrication, and that's not the situation here.
The entire statement right now.
Well, if he asked her, hold up. If he asked her that question, if this if Ellis team asked her that, he can't, he just left there. He did say what he said. So why he can't, why the prosecutor team cannot ask her what he just said? That's what messed them up. Y'all messed
Yes,
Ellis up.
there's no statement. There's a whole 30 audio recording. Yes.
Rule 60, 613, he addresses this issue. You may proceed. The objections overruled.
Mr. Griffin asked you the length of time that Mr. Murdaugh was there when the investigators questioned you in October of 2022. Do you remember them asking you about how long he was in the kitchen and in the room with Ms. Murdaugh?
Yes.
There you go.
Do you remember them asking you about, and he asked you on cross, it was unusual, whether Mr. Murdaugh had visited that time of night. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And do you remember telling the investigators that he would not come on your shift after 8 o'clock? Do you remember that?
Yes.
That was unusual?
Yes.
Unusual, y'all. Unusual. Alice on the night of the killing of on the murder of his wife and son, he was doing unusual thing over to his mother's house. This is the caretaker.
And do you remember one of them questioned you? You actually registered it in your mind that this is unusual for him to be here that time of night? You remember that?
Yes.
Would your answer, yeah, because I was like, yeah, to be honest, I was like, oh, why are you here this time of night? Why are you here this time of night, you know? Because we're all going to bed?
She seemed like a
Yes.
sweet lady. She got a good caretaker. Looked out for his mama. You next, Alex. We got a video for you next.
And as far as the length of time, you remember them asking you how long, and you said it was about
30,
20 minutes?
20,
Yes.
20. She sure did. 20 minutes.
And I'm trying to speed this up. Maybe for some dollars.
Alex was under the influence. He don't know what he was doing. Man, come on.
Do you remember, when Mr. Griffin asked you about your recollection as to what Mr. Murdaugh said you asked you about the 30 to 40 minute period? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember just a little while ago when he was asking you about that? I'm not trying to be, just a little while ago.
Yes.
Okay. About whether if anybody ever asked you if I was here or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you remember that these investigators asked you if SLED had put that in your mind?
No.
Is that the recollection or something they put in your mind?
Now, why he standing up saying something? Cause them the questions that he asked her. So why is he trying to contradict what he's saying? Shoot. That's what he asked her. Hold on, let me hear what he's saying.
She's publishing a document that is not a certified transcript of anything. Object.
Well, you asked her.
A sustained objection.
Did Alex Murdaugh ask you to tell somebody how long he'd been there?
Yeah.
He said someone asked me, I've been 30 to 40 minutes. That's what he said.
He said if somebody asked you.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's repeating her answer.
Yeah.
Is that the answer you gave his investigators
Yes.
back in October of 2020?
Yes.
Is what is. Hit the button. Like, smash the like button, baby. That man right there, good. Right there. Prosecutor, good. Right there. He good. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Griffin asked you about this blue tarp.
Tart.
Investigators asked you about that when they met with you.
Yes.
Did they bring something with them? You remember them showing you something?
Yeah.
A picture.
Did they also show you a tarp?
Yes.
Did they tell you they just got it from Kmart?
Yes.
Just bought it from Kmart.
Why did they trick her? Not the prosecutor team, but the other team. They showed her a picture of the blue tarp, and then they brought one in the house. They tried to confuse this lady.
Their investigators brought this with you to the interview and showed you this, correct?
Yes.
Had you already described a who'd you first tell that there was something that the defendant may have been holding in his hand? Who'd you tell first? When he came in that morning after the funeral, who did you tell that first to? The defendant may have been holding something or was holding something when he came in. Bingo. And as a result of that, Slade came and interviewed you.
Yes.
And then you told them what your testimony's been.
Yes.
Right? So in October 22nd, when their investigators came, they were asking you about what you talked about to the bingo, right?
Yes.
And they showed you this, right?
Yes.
Did they also ask you about a shirt? Do you remember they asked you if you'd seen a blue shirt?
Yes.
What was a blue shirt? I don't know. Was it just like a dress shirt or a shirt? What was it?
Like a rain jacket, something like a pullover.
But they described it as a shirt.
No.
Well, why you say rain jacket, lady? Alice team asked you, did it look like a rain jacket? Rain jacket, you said it looked like a tarp that you put over a car. Maybe I'm slow.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you saying they look like something. You said it look like a ring jacket. Make your man up.
Do you remember them asking you? You're positive it wasn't a shirt?
See, he's saying he going back asking her what I just said. She said, y'all ain't gonna confuse me.
You that?
Yes.
And your answer was it's vinyl. It was a vinyl, right?
Yes. Yes.
No legal witness.
See, Alice's team was trying to make her say what they want her to say, what they want her to say. And that's why they bringing up that tart, the blue tart. Why would he have a blue tart in his hand? Alex, when he came in there, what he hid, what did he put back? Because she said it looked like he was holding something.
And Mr. Griffin was asking you about the vinyl or whatever. You remember them asking you if there could have been a gun in it, his investigators?
I can't remember.
Last question. States 411. Shelley. You've identified this previously. Does that look like the blue vinyl garment he was carrying?
Yes.
Say that again.
Yes.
Wait. That's what messed him up. That's why I went back to this video and then I'm gonna go back to him. See, look, they showed her that picture earlier, y'all. Look. Listen to what he just asked her. He good, this man.
States 411. Shelley. You've identified this previously. Does that look like the blue vinyl garment he was carrying?
Yes.
Say that again.
Yes.
Bam. That's it. That's all they need. That's all. So what Alice did, he had put that blue vinyl thing down in a different place in the house, y'all. That's right. She, that lady ain't crazy. That's a sweet little nice lady. I like her little thing.
Crumpled up in his arms.
Okay.
Hold up. Yes.
Was it folded out? Was he wearing it?
No, he wasn't.
That's all. Thank you.
That prosecutor team is good. I like. That's why I went back to this for y'all. So
Just clear left the next.
listen, y'all.
Oh, the car laid out on Ms. Libby's retirement rocking chair, correct?
Yes.
And it was not a rain jacket, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It was a blue tarp, like what's in here as an evidence. Maybe says, right?
Yes.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Now, our investigators, yes, we have Mark Identification Exhibit 87. They show you a picture of this rain jacket.
Yes.
And you ever, and you told them you've never seen that rain jacket, right?
Correct.
Y'all see how they try to confuse that? See, they trying to confuse that woman. They went from, they confused her because they had a rain, they showed her a picture of a rain jacket. And then they show her a picture, he laid the tarp out. So you can get both of them mixed up with it. Now, one tar is that you put over a car is heavier than a heavier blue than a raincoat blue. So when they show her the picture, they try to confuse her, but this what they doing.
Now we'd introduce exhibit evidence.
Objection.
I'll put it up here.
Here are the top 3.
See, that's why they going over that. Because then they about to confuse her. Alex team about to confuse her. She better stay strong for his mom. Hold on, listen to this. They trying to confuse her.
While they're working on that, Ms. Smith, did anyone speak to you over lunch or testimony?
No,
Talk to any SLED agents or anybody at the AG's office?
no.
Yeah, let's see, get the whole picture. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Doug. You ever seen this rain jacket before?
No,
Did Alec Murdaugh have that rain jacket with him when he came in to the this Libby's home on the morning, I believe, a few days after the funeral?
no.
And if this photo, exhibit 41, states exhibit 41, can you see this blue thing winding up?
Yes,
If that is, in fact, the photo of the rain jacket that we just looked at, would your testimony be you've never seen that garment folded up in that closet before?
no. Only thing I see was blue velvet. I didn't know it was a raincoat or not. It was bubbled up.
So well, have you ever been in this closet before?
No, I haven't.
So you don't know what that is folded up there, do you?
Correct.
And so if it's this rain jacket, that's what's in the closet. You've never seen Alec Murdaugh with this garment before, have you?
No, I haven't.
They trying to confuse you, girl. Watch out. See,
Just very briefly, I know you've been really good here. I know it's been a hard day, and we appreciate you being here. That day when you came to work, Mr. Randolph Murdaugh had been put back in the hospital. Is that correct?
Yes,
And that was unusual because he'd just gotten out of the hospital like a day before, right? And so it was, although it wasn't usual for Alec Murdaugh to come over that night, but this was an unusual day because Mr. Randolph had been put back in the hospital. Would you agree with that?
yes.
All right. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you, madam. You may step down.
now, I showed y'all this testimony because this is where Alex came in between the incident that happened out there to his wife's house. Now, I want to go back to this right here. See, I showed y'all that the lady that finished talking is the caretaker, y'all. Y'all, listen for a moment. I'm looking at, hold on for a minute. Hold on. Okay, let me come back to y'all. Okay. What I'm about to show y'all now, what I'm about to show you all, I'm about to show y'all, you all. The reason why I showed y'all that video, I took y'all and did a recap on that video, is because they tried to confuse her with the blue jacket. The blue tarp looked like you could cover up a car. And then they showed her a picture of the raincoat. And that's where Alex came after he did what he did. Allegedly, if he, I'm just going by what they said. So I showed y'all that video because when that happened to his family, he would run between houses to houses, from the mama house, and that's her caretaker and father, to his house. So he was making transition from his house, from this house to that house. Now, the video I'm about to show y'all now, we know the case over with, because we know he not innocent. We know he had involved regardless. Now, I'm going to show y'all the video of him testifying at the end, what he says at the end. And for him to say what he said at the end, this tripped me out. That let you know that he was under controlled substances when he said what he said. Alice know what time it is. Look at him. Of course he ain't gonna know what he did because he was under controlled substances.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Listen.
I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never hurt my son, Papa.
Okay. You heard what he said. He said, I would never hurt my wife, Maggie. I'm going to play it again. And I would never hurt my son, Papa. This is the first time he said Papa. Because he was under the influence. When you're under the influence, you don't know what you're doing. No, you ain't going to hurt Papa because you're not under the influence. Papa can look like a rabbit to you. He can look like a bear to you, or whatever you was under. You don't know what you was under. You know what you was under, but.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never hurt Papa.
So if you went, yes, you did, because whatever you got yourself into, Alice Murdaugh, whatever you, listen to what you just said, Alice. Okay, let me talk nice. I'm talking like a coach. Now let me get out of it, because I'm thinking about a track meet. Look, listen, Alice. If you would never hurt your wife, nor your popo, your son, you wouldn't have put them in the situation that you put them in. That's even more hurtful than anything. You put your whole family in your matters. That's what you did. You put your whole family in your matter. And matter is what the things that you was involving yourself in. You hurt them. You hurt them. So don't do that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Anything further?
I don't think further comment is necessary.
Murdaugh, if you'll come, the court for sentencing.
Listen to what the judge said.
This has been perhaps one of the most troubling cases, not just for me as a judge, for the state defense team, but for all of the citizens in this community, all the citizens in the state, and as we've seen based on the media coverage throughout the nation, have a wife who's been killed, murdered, son savagely murdered, a lawyer, a person from a respected family who has controlled justice in this community for over a century, a person whose grandfather's portrait hang at the back of the courthouse that I had to have ordered removed in order to ensure that the fair trial was had by both the state and the defense. And I sat through the trial, not only having sat through the trial, but also as the presiding judge of the state grand jury, sat through and participated in the issuance of search warrants of various sorts, bond hearings, and I've had to consider many things. We have this case, and I'm also assigned to preside over 99 other cases. 99 other cases. No testimony has come up regarding many of those other cases. I will not make any comment with regard to any other pending matter, as I have been assigned other cases as well. It's also particularly troubling, Mr. Murdaugh, because as a member of the legal community, and a well-known member of the legal community, you practiced law before me, and we've seen each other at various occasions throughout the years. And it was especially heartbreaking for me to
This his son, y'all.
see you gone, going immediately from being a grieving father who lost a wife and a son to being the person indicted and convicted of killing them. And you've engaged in such duplicitous conduct here in the courtroom, here on the witness stand,
Mm-hmm.
and it's established by the testimony throughout the time leading from the time of the indictment and prior to the indictment throughout the trial to this moment in time. Certainly, you have no obligation to say anything other than saying not guilty. And obviously, as appeals are probably expected or absolutely expected, I would not expect a confession of any kind. In fact, as I've presided over murder cases over the past 22 years, I have yet to find a defendant who could go there, who could go back to that moment in time when they decided to pull the trigger or to otherwise murder someone. I have not been able to get anyone, any defendant, even those who have confessed to being guilty, to go back and explain to me what happened at that moment in time when they opted to pull the trigger, when they opted to commit the most heinous crime known to man. In this case, qualifies under our death penalty statute, based on the statutory aggravating circumstances of two or more people being murdered by the defendant by one act or pursuant to one scheme or course of conduct. I don't question at all the decision of the state not to pursue the death penalty. But as I sit here in this courtroom and look around the many portraits of judges and other court officials,
I like this judge.
reflect on the fact that over the past century, your family, including you, have been prosecuting people here in this courtroom, and many have received the death penalty.
That's right.
Probably for lesser conduct. Remind me of the expression you gave on the witness stand. Was it tangled? Or what tangled web we weave? What do you mean by that?
Lie, continue to lie.
And the question is, when will it end? When will it end? And it's ended already for the jury because they've concluded that you continue to lie and lie throughout your testimony.
Exactly.
And perhaps with all the throng of people here, they, for the most part, all believe, or 80, 90%, 99% believe that you continue to lie now.
I want to stop it right here for a minute. Y'all, think about what we are going through in life when we have to go, when we get a lawyer. When we get lawyers for doing things for us. And the lawyers switched up and start using their issues in their manner, in our manner. This would give you, and you put all your money into these lawyers and they charge you, and they overcharge you and do things like Alex Murdaugh did. People think if Alex Murdaugh did this to his clients, stay on top of how if you are overcharged when you use his lawyers for doing different things. This case takes me to a situation to where it taught me something as a human, that when I get a lawyer to handle my business for me, to do my business for me, and he overcharged me and he take from me, what are other lawyers doing? And makes me think, are the other lawyers in this world that we dealing in, are they doing what they supposed to do for us? This taught me how to stay on top of my business when I hire a lawyer to do certain things for me. Is it I'm putting my money when you get a lawyer to do something, is he overcharging you for his benefits? Or where is your money going to? This case with Alice Murdaugh taught me how to stay on top of my game when it come down to my financial and what I'm doing, my communication with my lawyer. This is very important. This is a very important case because Alice is a lawyer that has his clients put their hand on their Bible and raise their hand and tell the truth and nothing but the truth. But the lawyer lied. This is serious, y'all. This is a serious case. This case, a lot of these cases has taught me a lot. A lot of these cases, especially this case, is how to choose the right company to take care of handle my business. That's not just me, you all. When you own stuff, property, and when you own houses, and when you in a certain situation and you have to go get a lawyer, you got to make sure they don't overcharge you. Because lawyers, as well as police officers, as well as judges and teachers and employees, go through things, y'all. This case really taught me a lot about the business that I handle, that I have, that stay on top of whatever you do when you when you have to go hire a lawyer. Make sure you with the right company. Try not to get a company nobody never heard of. Because a lot of scamming going on, y'all. A lot of scamming with innocent faces.
Of denial to the court.
Since I discovered the tool, myself received the notification.
And he's a lawyer. Don't feel sorry for him. Feel sorry for his wife and child and his son who got to suffer without his family. Him, this is his son. He got to suffer without his brother, his baby brother, his mama, his grandfather, his father, and his father. His father.
Perhaps you believe that it does not matter, that there's nothing that can mitigate a sentence given the crimes that were committed. Now, a notice of alibi was filed in this case by counsel in November, and we conducted a hearing, pre-trial hearing, in which you claim to have been someplace else at the time the crime was committed. Then, after all of the witnesses placed you at the scene of the crime, at the last minutes or days, you switch courses and get there. And then that necessitated more lies that continue to lie.
Joe did.
And I said, where will it end? It's already ended for many who have heard you and concluded that it will never end. But within your own soul, you have to deal with that. And I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the nighttime when you're
Mm-hmm. He see Maggie.
come and visit you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's why he was going crazy.
Every night.
Told you.
Sure. And they will continue to do so.
See, this whole case, Maggie and Popo Paul drove that man crazy. He more released now, going to prison, than he was when he was sitting in the court the whole time lying. Now that he don't release them lies off him, he feel better because see, Maggie and Popo gonna drive him crazy while he in jail. Paw is his son, and that go his oldest son right there. Luckily, he wasn't there. They gonna eat that man up, y'all. It ain't over, cause he already complaining. But people like that who be under controlled substances, they gonna always think they are right when they are wrong. He might not last in there, y'all.
To have moved in order to ensure that fair trial was had by both the state and the defense. And I've sat through the trial. Not only have it sat through the trial, but also as the
I'm gonna skip a little bit to right here. I'm gonna put it right here. This near the end.
that had to quite a bit going through your mind on that day. But amazingly, to have you come and testify, it
Woo!
was just another ordinary.
Hey, that was the worst thing for Alex Murdaugh to do, was to take the stand. But that was the best thing for him to do, because he was going to jail anyway. That's why he took the stand.
Every day. My wife and son and I were out enjoying life. Not credible, not believable. You can convince yourself about it, but obviously you have the inability to convince anyone else about that. So, if you made any such arguments as a lawyer, you would lose every case like that. So you will never have an argument anymore. Except perhaps your own citizens.
He's so angry.
Anything further? Mr. Murdaugh, I sentence you to the State Department of Corrections on each of the murder indictments in the murder of your wife, Maggie Murdaugh. I sentence you for a term of the rest of your natural life.
Look at his son. Look at his son, y'all. He thinking about his mama. All boys love their mama. Look. He lost his son, and his brother, and his mama gone, and his grandfather gone, and I think I don't know if his grandmama gone. He by himself, except for his wife. That's your son. He ain't gonna come see you. Don't go see your daddy.
Murdaugh, whom you probably love so much. I sentence you to prison, murdering him for the rest of your natural life. Those sentences will run consecutively. Under the statute involving possession of a weapon during a violent crime, there is no sentence. For a life sentence is imposed on other indictments.
Don't die in jail.
That is the sentence of the court, and you are remanded to the State Department of Corrections. And officers may
Bye.
on the other
Is he gonna look at his son? He can't even look. His son didn't even look at him. He can't even look at his son, y'all. That motherfucker didn't even look at his son. Let me push it back a little bit, y'all. His son put his face down. Look. This motherfucker didn't even look at his child. His child, he had the face that like, don't look at me. You don't put my family in debt and my mama them in debt. Look.
Yep.
Look. He peeked at him. He put his head down. He don't want to look at his daddy, what he did. Look. Your daddy. And when he knew his son didn't look at him, his son was done. You know, you know what? This is one sad case of your father. Look at the son one more time, y'all. He put his head down. Daddy gonna look at him. And the son looked like, don't look at me. What you look, that's his son. He got his eye closed. Don't look at me. Watch this. Watch he look at him. Wait. Your son don't want to look at you. You don't kill his mama. No. That's his son, y'all. That's his oldest son. Just imagine his oldest son was there. And then he lied on his own son, the one he killed. The one he murdered. And said that his friends did that to him. He got a beautiful family back there. Smart young man right there. You took his mama and his brother from him. Who else did you take? I love his son back there, his oldest one. Because he didn't want to look at him. Look, watch look at him. Your son don't want to look at you.
Carried forth.
Watch this. Look. He looked at him. Look. He glanced at him. He closed his eyes. He don't want to look at you. That's the only reason why he turned that way, y'all. Because he didn't even have to turn that way. He could have walked out that court, but he wanted to turn around and look at his son. His son closed his eyes. Son turned his head, look at him. He don't want to see you, what you did to his mama. Your own dad.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't this case here was something else. But it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot how family could be. Your own family can be. It taught me a lot of how to handle my bills and to deal with people who don't overcharge you. And you know, I'm gonna put this up in what I wrote right here. I put, anytime you involve yourself in a harmful matter, you involve your family. Anytime you involve yourself in a harmful matter, you involve your family, not only you. So whatever you was engaged in, you involved your family. So you part of the situation. You are part of the solution. The problem. And Alice, I put up here, Alice Murdaugh, if you knew who murdered your family, then tell him it was him who did it. And then he had the nerve to go to his mama's house, his own mother's house. Whew. And now his son is left alone with nobody but himself and his girlfriend. Y'all, stay on top of your bills because people is scamming their own people for money. Lawyers are doing, you see it happen to lawyers. I showed y'all a case of an officer that took his own life and took his wife's life and left the kid. I'm showing y'all stuff because everybody is human. Watch your financials. Watch what you put out there. Keep a receipt. If you ain't never heard of that company, don't use it. People ain't doing but taking your money and run. This is a lawyer that take oaths, that stand up and say, have they people stand up to you had to, and you supposed to represent. Alice supposed to represent the clients. He took from the clients millions and millions of dollars, y'all. He was doing other things also. He kept on. You know what? One thing about the things that you do, even if you involve other people in your situation, once you get in debt and owe somebody, and you go over here and borrow something from somebody, you always be broke because you're always borrowing. No telling he was borrowing the mortgage, insurance money, whatever he had to do, property taxes. Once you start borrowing from people, you're going to continue. You're going to borrow from somebody else. You got to owe them people. So the money you owe that people, you had to use that money to pay them. Then you got to go borrow that money for so long as you have to owe somebody, those people would never be broke. So that's what Ellis was doing. If he paid me, he owe you because he just borrowed that money from over there. He wasn't making after he finished borrowing, after he finished stealing from his client. He owed that money to where that money is supposed to be going to. Y'all, I love y'all. All I got to say is stay on top of your business. If it don't sound right to you, if it don't look right to you, it's not what? Right. And it used to be time with blood thicker than water. It's not like that no more, y'all. Blood not thicker than water. You got blood going against your own blood now. So that tells you need to watch your back. Stay focused. Because money is rude to all evil. Money is the root to all evil. He had a beautiful wife and a son, one between the two. Pope Maggie said, I'll start over from scratch. Take this house and this thing. But when your head big and you money hungry and you think you bigger than everybody else, you want a little up class, high scale. Watch them people. I'm out, y'all. Thanks for watching. I got a track meet to go to. I'm going to go out there and watch them children and make sure the school I used to work for, can I get them some pointer on their boys? Because I used to coach their boys team. I'm not going out there to coach. I'm not coaching. I'm out. I'm not jumping out of retirement into retirement, but I can give pointers to other folks. Other teams. This team from the school I was at. All right, y'all. Y'all be good. This your girl, the real deal, Anita Gill. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And join the channel for $4.99 monthly. And if you want to donate to the super chat. Therefore, I'll get part something, and you too to get part something. And I don't mind because they gave me a platform to do what I got to do. I'm out.